I'm here now with Dr. Jon Lorsch with the National Institute of General Medical Science. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Dina.
You do have an important role. You control billions of dollars, thousands of research projects, and at a time, I think, when funding is so critical in this field, how do you handle that challenge?
Well, you're absolutely right, Dina, that these are challenging times. I think the system is under a lot of strain. And some may find that discouraging, but when there are challenging times, it's an opportunity to make changes to improve the system. And I think that is really what we're focusing on, is trying to improve the efficiency and the effectiveness and the sustainability of the enterprise, to do more with the resources we have, and to really promote the creativity and vigor of the enterprise, and kind of unleash the power that is out there.
I think people are very curious about the process, so the question that I would pose to you is, how do you prioritize?
Well, we really want to prioritize based on the best ideas from the investigators, okay? And so that really is the fundamental mission of NIGMS, is investigator-initiated research. We're not really interested in running science from the top, in telling scientists what they should be working on. Instead, we want to, again, unleash the creativity and intellectual power of these amazing researchers that are out there. And I think the overall strategy that we're focusing on is to create a broad and a diverse research portfolio, because fundamentally what we are is investors of the taxpayer money. And my job is to get the taxpayers the biggest bang for their buck. And the way to do that, as an investor, whether you're investing in the stock market, startup companies, or science, is again to have a diverse and broad portfolio. And in science, as in investing in startup companies, for example, it's particularly important because we have no idea where the big payoffs are going to come from, the big discoveries. And frequently they come from unexpected places. So we're going to maximize the chances that the taxpayers will get the kind of big discoveries that they want and they deserve by having, again, a broad, diverse portfolio.
Because there have been so many cuts, I think there is a great fear out there. Even people that think they have a good idea are worried about getting that kind of funding. And so do you have any advice on what would be the proper way to go at this so that they could get funding and perhaps continue to get funded?
Well, again, I think in the short term, you have to keep trying. You can't win the lottery if you don't have a lottery ticket. So I would really encourage people to keep trying, and importantly, to put in bold ideas. I mean, don't be conservative, don't just follow what you think is the safe route. We are looking for bold and exciting ideas. We are looking to, again, support a diverse portfolio, and so that means getting out of the little local minima that people are maybe comfortable in and trying to explore new territory.
You want them to be bold, but you also want something that in science you can reproduce. And I know that has been a great challenge and something that you have been very concerned about.
That's an important question, Dina. This is an issue that is of great concern to us. It's clearly come up in the media quite a bit. And I think it's really incumbent upon everyone in the scientific community to take it very seriously and to do what we can to improve the situation. It's a very complicated issue. People talk about the reproducibility problem as if it's a single thing. In fact, it's really a conflation of a number of different issues. One is simply, if I try to reproduce your experiment, do I get the same data? So that's part of it. Beyond that, though, there's the question of what we might call rigor. Are the conclusions that I make based on the data supportable? Are they sound? And are they generalizable? And those are two different related issues, and they are fed by a number of different problems and issues in the system, starting with the sociology of science. Certainly, for example, an overemphasis on the importance of publishing in a certain kind of journal drive science in a certain direction. There are methodological issues. So one that we've been particularly concerned about that's relevant for this meeting is reproducibility in cell culture studies. For example, misidentification of cell lines. So it turns out that much more frequently than you would like, someone is studying a cell line and thinks it is a certain kind of cell, for instance, renal carcinoma cell, does years of experiments with it, only to discover later that it was not the kind of cell they thought. It was in fact, say, a HeLa cell. And so that's an issue that we are very concerned about and are beginning to make some recommendations on how we can address. Then the sort of fundamental underlying problem here is one of training and education. How are we training the next generation of scientists to do the most reproducible and rigorous science? And that's also something that we at NIGMS and NIH as a whole have been focusing on. And we recently issued a funding opportunity announcement to support the creation of shareable online training modules in areas related to reproducibility, spanning the spectrum from the methodological to the sociological.
Well, if you're talking about it, then you'll be able to educate the researchers, and that will only make the research all that much better.
That's right. And one key point I would make is that this is an ecosystem, the biomedical research enterprise, and for us to fix problems like this, reproducibility, or problems related to sustainability and funding, is going to take everyone in the community working together and sharing the responsibility to make changes, not just the NIH making changes, but the researchers, the journals, the professional societies, the universities.
Everyone working together. Dr. Lorsch, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.